Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to celebrate Halloween just a little bit early, and we're making a layout that will be perfect for all of your Halloween monster needs. Let's check out my workspace and get started. It's going to be fun. Okay, so we have a number of things on my workspace today. I have some red glitter paper. I have 2 pieces of black cardstock, a piece of white cardstock, and then I have 2 pieces of paper that are not Creative Memories. These are from a different company, but they are still acid and lignin free, so safe for my photos. This is paper made by American Crafts. It is called, does it have a name? It does not have a name. It does have an item. Oh, it does have a name. Turquoise Rust, and the vendor item number will be, I'll put that in the details of the video in case you want to go ahead and find this paper anywhere. Basically, I was just looking for something that was bright and colorful. This kind of reminded me a little bit of Cookie Monster, and you'll see why when we finish making this layout. But I also have a number of pieces from our custom cutting system. I have the jumbo circle, which we're going to use just a little bit of. I have one of the new ones. This one is the, I can't remember what they called this one, but this one has the smooth edge around the outside and then the wavy edge on the inside of the square. And so I'm excited to use that today. I also have all 3 of my circles out because I'm not sure exactly which ones we're going to be using. So if you have your circle patterns, have those handy. We will get to those in a little bit. And I have all 3 of my blades, again, because I wasn't sure exactly which ones we're going to need, but we are going to definitely be using them. I also have both repositionable and permanent adhesive out. We may only need the permanent adhesive, but just in case, I have all of it available. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take the black pieces of paper and I'm going to remove them. Those are going to be our base sheets. We'll get back to those later when we are assembling things. I'm also going to set the glitter paper aside just for a second because we're going, and the white paper too, because we're going to work on and focus on these blue sheets first. These are going to be the outside of our layout. Now the inspiration for this layout came from seeing some of the creative things people do with their front doors for Halloween. And I just thought, wouldn't it be cute if we created a layout that resembled that cute little monster that they are depicting? And so I just thought it would be super fun if we used a bright color for the outside. We're going to take our jumbo square and we're going to center it from top to bottom, but then we're going to scoot it so that the edge of the frame is off the edge for just a bit. I'm going to see if I can give you a good way to measure this so that you can tell. So as you put your paper on a mat like this, you're going to scoot the jumbo edge or the jumbo square off the edge just so that the tops of the ripples on this side are touching the base of the paper or the edge of the paper. So just like that, okay? So we are going to do the same thing on both of our sheets of paper, but I'm going to make sure that I have turned them just a little bit so that so we have a different pattern of the blue around the edge. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go with, rather than using the blue blade, I'm just going to use the red blade so we get right up close to the edge of our template. Now when you're using one of our templates, no matter what size they are, and they have something besides a straight, smooth edge, you do need to be mindful of going a little slower through those curves. So I'm just going to very precisely move my blade. And if you're not familiar with the CM custom cutting system, this is a wonderful system for being able to cut fun designs. You can cut three different blades have blades that are at varying widths. So the red one cuts as close as possible to the pattern. The green one a little farther away. The blue one is the farthest away. And it's roughly 1/8 of an inch difference between the two, or between the three. All right, so I've completed that edge. Let's remove our paper. So this is going to be something you could use in another layout. We're just going to set that aside. This is going to be the piece that we're going to want handy. Okay, I'm going to set that over here. We're going to grab this one, and I'm going to just turn it just slightly so that this coppery kind of edge is kind of more pronounced and on this side. So I'm just going to go ahead and line my paper up again the same way with the edge of the wave at the bottom right on the edge of my paper. I'm going to center it the best I can. You end up with roughly 1/2 of an inch on either side. Maybe slightly more than 1/2 of an inch, but not much. Okay, I think we're good there. All right, so I'm going to start again on the left, put my 2 pegs into the guide trough, and guide my blade along carefully. All right, here we go. Oh, looks like I didn't quite start on the edge with that one. Okay, so now we've got this one and we've got this one. All right, so it looks like a really large frame. Now what I'm going to do is set this pattern aside and set these aside for just a second. I'm going to just set them right up here. I'm going to grab my jumbo circle pattern and my red glitter paper. I'm going to cut so my glitter paper is not a full sheet, you can see. Let me get you a measurement so you can see how wide this is. So it looks like it is 8 inches wide. So I'm starting with 8 inches wide of glitter paper, and I'm just going to place my circle so that I can cut an even half circle. Well, it's not really going to be a whole half circle, but I'm just going to cut an arch into it right there.
I thought you were going to say you were going to create confetti out of that.
Some people don't like to cut glitter paper with their custom cutting blades or with their 12-inch trimmer. If you have a dedicated blade, it's probably best, but you don't have to. It's just if you use glitter paper a lot with your blades, it will dull them over time. So having a dedicated blade is probably a smart thing to do. Thanks.
There's 2 there. So 1, 2.
Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, now I'm going to grab my trimmer and we're going to trim a couple things. So I have my white cardstock, which I've brought in. I have my red, and my red circle. I'm going to place the edges of my red circle, the places where I went off the edge. I want those to be at roughly the 1/2 inch mark. So I want that there and this. Right about there. Okay. So I've got my arch, my 8-inch piece of paper. I did my arch and then I cut it straight about a 1/2 inch beyond where the arch stopped. Okay. Then I'm going to take this and let's measure it just really quick. So it is just a hair over 8 inches. So I'm going to go just a hair beyond 4 inches and go ahead and cut this. And I'm hoping that this is going to be what we need to do. We might have to go back and recut that piece, but I think that's going to work. All right, so I need pieces that are, let's go with about 2.5 inches. Oop. Let's get that guy off there. We're going to cut a piece of white cardstock that's 2.5 inches. And then what I'm going to do is cut this into sections. So I'm going to cut this into pieces that are 1 3/4 inches. And I'll show you why here in just a second. So 1 3/4, 1 3/4. Let's see how many we can get out of one strip. There's 3, 4, and 5, and 6. All right, I need a couple more, so this piece is too short. So we're going to cut one more piece that's 2.5 inches. And we're going to, I've got 6. So I want at least, there's 7. I want 9. So we're going to cut 8, 9. So you need 2.5 inch by 12 strips, and then you need to cut 9 pieces that are 1 3/4 inch wide. Then we're going to take those, and I'm just going to stack. I'm going to stack 3 at a time, and I'm going to cut from the center, and I'm just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be exact. This procedure does not have to be exact. I'm just going to cut from roughly the center on the short side of that, the 1 3/4 inch side. I'm going to find the middle with my eye and cut from that center down to this right hand corner. Okay, just like that. Then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to cut from the far corner up here to that center point that I cut to down here. There we go. Okay, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to do 3 more the same way. Okay, so from the middle to this corner down here. Then we're going to turn it and cut from that far corner down to this middle point. Three more. All right, now I believe we have almost all of our pieces. Okay, I'm going to set my trimmer over here to the side. I'm going to grab the rest of my white cardstock. I'm also going to grab just a little bit of black shimmer paper. This is just a remnant that I had. And I'm going to grab my circles. Now we need to make some eyes, and I'll show you how this is going to come together here in just a minute. But for now, I need to see my pages and how they are coming together. And I need some big eyes. So I think I'm going to use this largest one, although we could use the smaller one and cut around the outside. Actually, that would probably be good too. I'm going to use the small one and we're going to cut around the outside. I'm going to use the biggest blade, or the widest blade I have, which is the blue one. Let me move these back over so I don't accidentally cut them. I'm just going to go right around the outside with my blue blade and cut 2 circles. Hold on, gotta make sure those feet are where they are supposed to be. Okay, so there's 1 circle, and we're going to do the second circle. Okay, so there are our eyes, and I'm going to let's see, I think using let's use our blue blade and the inside of the middle size circle, so our medium circle, and our blue blade. Let me make sure I'm not off the paper. Okay, I think that should be okay. All right, well, it's not. It's only okay as long as my paper doesn't move. Sometimes I find it helps if you go backwards. Okay. So there's one. Let's cut the other one from over here. I'm trying to keep it as still as possible so I can get all the way around that circle. All right. Let's clear that off workspace. Okay, now we're going to start assembling. So let me move these out of the way and move these out of the way. Blades, get those up there. Okay, we're gonna save these for just a minute. Let me grab my black paper and we're gonna grab one of these. Let's put our adhesive all the way around the outside of this. And then okay, now I'm going to start from one edge and work my way over. So I'm going to start all the way at the edge of my black cardstock. Smooth it towards the middle. You can see that the papers are off just a tiny bit, but I can trim that, so I'm not super worried about it. I'm going to do this one. Once again, starting right on the edge, we're going to just adhere this paper down to that black cardstock. If you're working on a black page, then I would just go ahead and put this right directly on my black page if I were you. But it is up to you. Okay, so we've got our black cardstock. Now, you're going to need your all-purpose tool. If you don't have an all-purpose tool, you're going to need something that you can lift up the paper that we just adhered down just slightly. I'm going to grab my trimmer and just trim off that center bit that's a little bit wonky so that it won't bug me. Okay, so there's that side, and here's side number 2. Just taking off that little tiny bit of an edge. Because I will have the jeeping for my pages there, but I don't want there to be a black line separating it. All right, now I'm going to take my red off there. I'm going to put some permanent adhesive on the back of my red glitter paper. going to just put it so that it is even with the center. This side is even with the center. And this point over here where my curve stops is right at the top of the curve of my paper. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing on this side. You can see why having an all-purpose tool comes in handy. And just to make sure, I'm going to line up my pages and be sure that my red arches are meeting. So I need to move this one up just slightly. There. Not to worry. Okay. Perfect. All right, now these guys that we cut, these triangles we cut, I bet you know what these are. These are teeth. These are going to go. I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive for these so that I can make sure and get those points down. I'm going to put 5 of them across the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 of them across the top. We're going to do the ones on the bottom right now, and then we're going to stop and do the eyes. So okay. So your teeth are also going to need to be tucked underneath the blue paper. You can make them go slightly off and then trim them in a little bit, which is what I'm going to do. And they don't have to be completely straight up and down. You can make them go a little bit wonky if you want to. Oh, you know what? I'm just remembering. This one here in the center needed to be kind of halfway in between. So we are going to trim that one and then move it over. And here I've got another one stuck to me. So let me get this guy to move over just a smidge. Okay, and then this guy goes on the outside. You can make him kind of stick way out. And this one, let's trim this one so that we can go ahead and adhere the rest of him to the other side of our layout. So I'm just using my CM scissors to go ahead and, oh dear, I dropped a tooth. I dropped a tooth. Oh no. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to add just a little bit more adhesive to the tip of this piece, and we will add it in here. Let's line these pages up again so we can put him, line him right up. Cool. Okay. Then we're gonna slip these other two teeth in. On the outer edge. All right. There we go. Now we're going to do our eyes. We've got our pupils for our eyes. Something I was considering doing, and I haven't yet decided whether it's going to be a go or a no-go. But I have some googly eyes I want to try and see if see if they will work. But we're okay, I'm just going to stick those like that. We're going to be trimming off parts of these eyes, so so a portion of them will be over the edge. Let's see, maybe we'll do this one on this side. I'll do him kind of like that. And then this one will be a little more crazy-like. And you'll note that I have the white going over the center and the top. So we're going to trim both edges. Let's go ahead and do our teeth that need to go in up here so that we don't have them floating around and getting lost or falling on the floor like mine did just a minute ago. Okay, so I'm just going to lift up his eyeball and have his teeth kind of sticking out of his eye. I know that may seem kind of odd, but it is what it is, right? Just don't have them like super long. We might need to adjust the teeth. Or maybe we don't need the teeth up here on the top. I don't know. This is just something I saw in my head and thought it would be cute. Maybe the teeth up here don't really make a whole lot of sense. Let's see. Let's go ahead and trim off these eyes. Wishing I had my longer scissors. I just had my Croptoberfest last weekend, and this is the Monday following it. And though most of my room has been put back to rights, I do still have a few things that need to be gathered up. My scissors being one of them. What do we think? I don't know. I think his eyeballs maybe need to be a little bit aligned a little bit better. This side there kind of, this eye is a little bit lower than the other one, which is not something I thought about. So if I raise that up, how would that work? I like having the eyeballs going different directions. Okay, let's trim that just a little bit more. I don't know. Okay, I also have these googly eyes, which we could put in the middle, which would add another element and might make him look even a little bit more fearsome. What do you think? think maybe his tongue is a little high, but I don't know. Maybe let's move these teeth just a smidge. Certainly this one, because it's very low. Would that work? Let me know what you think. I think these are a little bit too much. So maybe we won't do googly eyes. Maybe we'll just do our monster like this. And then we can put pictures of our other little monsters in their costumes around. I think he turned out pretty cute. Let me know what you think in the comments. Certainly not my average 2-page layout, but I think he's kind of cute. I think I might need something to differentiate, now that I'm looking at the video, to differentiate around the eyes right here. What if we cut some black just as a line to kind of go around the eyes? I think I might do that, and then I'll take a final picture and show it to you so you can see it with that, to kind of separate the eyes from the teeth in that upper area. I think it looks a little funny without it. So I'll do that before I take my final picture and finish the video. Thanks so much for joining me today. This has been fun. It's fun to get goofy every now and then, and I've been doing so many travel pages that I needed to get goofy. So thanks for indulging me. I hope you have a marvelous Halloween and enjoy all of the visitors that come to your house shortly, and get in the spirit of the holiday. It's so fun to see the little ones enjoying themselves and having a good time dressing up. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.